Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Battle of Gods, which is brought to you by Mood Publishing. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, and games generally run around 30 minutes. In Battle of Gods, the fate of the world hangs in the balance as champions of Norse mythology clash in a fast-paced arena battle game. Whether you prefer all against all or team-based showdowns, the choice is yours. Take command of legendary figures such as Thor, Freyja, or Odin, along with many others, and battle your way to claim the title as the most glorious champion, or simply the last one standing. Each champion boasts a unique array of abilities, from Freyja's elegant feather cloak to Surtur's blazing sword, activated through the powers of strategic dice rolls. Throughout the game, you'll have the chance to permanently enhance your champion with powerful card boosts, or strategically hoard cards for game-changing moments that can tip the balance of power in your favor. But beware, for your hard-earned glory and fragile life force must be guarded, for rivals may seek to seize your hard-fought victories. Only the mightiest and most cunning warriors will emerge victorious. So champions, are you ready to enter the arena? So again, this is a preview. I'm going to give you an overview of how the game plays and probably do a dive into Thor because he's my favorite. But all of these heroes have vastly different abilities and dice combos that you can put together along with their own deck of cards. And you'll see here that they sent me the base game along with the 2 expansions, and I kind of assembled my favorites of the different heroes in the arena. So let's dive into this arena. You'll see around the edge of the arena is some runes, and this is really just to show you where you can't put your heroes when you first start a game in lower player counts, like 2-player. But the board is fully open to like a 4-player battle. And again, you can do all against all, or you can do team battles. It's some really nice variation there. Now, there's a couple main symbols that you need to be very aware of. There are teleporters. If you move into one teleporter, you can immediately move to the other, give you a fast travel, maybe setting up next to your opponent, trying to hit them for a decisive blow or something like that. But you can only use it once in that turn. You can't like back up and move through it again. So you also have the satyr pools. Now, this is going to get us into the different icons of the dice. You have a specific dice you'll roll for the satyr pools, which is black. The black dice has similar symbols to what you're going to find on the main dice, but they are different, and they've actually named the different sides of the dice. So we have empowered, which allows you to draw 1 card. And what's interesting is that you start the game without any cards in hand. And whenever you do draw a card, you'll place it down, face down in front of you, and you won't be able to pick it up until the end of your turn. So you won't be using it till your next available turn. And you also have Strengthen, which has also a card draw, but also allows you to heal 1. And then you have Rejuvenation, which just simply heals 2. You also have Satyr Backlash, which will do 2 damage. And then you have Test of Prowess. This is the glory symbol that's on the dice, and you'll be drawing one of the glory tokens from the pool. Now, this is an important aspect because this is another way you win the game, other than being the last man standing, by having 10 glory points. And the glory on your board counts towards those 10. However, whenever you take damage, the hero that did damage to you and moved your marker across one of your glory tokens will gather that token for themselves. And so every time you enter one of these satyr pools, you roll the dice and apply the results. Now, since we're talking about dice, let's take a look at the main dice. All of these have symbols that generally you can use on their own or in combination to activate abilities of your heroes. However, there is this starburst symbol. I'm not going to try to say the Icelandic name. I did try, but it didn't go well. Anyway, this symbol is the only one on the dice that has to be combined to use abilities of your heroes. All the other symbols can be used on their own without using the special abilities of your heroes. So you've got a fist bump, well, a fist punch, I should say, and this gives you 1 damage against an adjacent hero. You've got partial cards, so you'll need 2 of these card symbols in order to draw a card. You've got a health symbol that gives you 1 health back, and you've got the partial glory symbol, and you'll need 2 of these in order to draw a glory token. And then finally, you just have a move symbol, give you an extra movement on your turn. So it's up to you when you're rolling the dice how you best use them. You can combine them to use the special abilities on your hero, or use them individually. So yes, it all comes down to heroes, so let's dive in and take a look. Now, we'll probably do a deep dive into Thor, because, again, my favorite. Odin was pretty good too, I really liked. But all of these heroes are going to have vastly different abilities and how you use them. And also, they're going to have different dice requirements and what they're capable of doing. They all generally have a token of some sort to use out on the battlefield or on their player boards. And each player does get an amazing player board outlining exactly what their abilities are and how to use them. And along the bottom is where you'll find your health track. You'll be placing glory tokens along the health track, so as you lose health in battle, those tokens will go to whoever did damage to you. Now, you also get, which we have to make note of, these just phenomenal miniatures in this game, and they look just so amazing. And I've got this early pre-production copy, and it's just phenomenal. I can't get over how amazing these look. This game just straight up a lot of fun as you're rolling dice. For me, someone who loves dice chucking and some nice card abilities, this really has it going on, and you really feel that fast-paced, King of the Hill type of thing going on in this game. Now, along the side of the board, you'll see some different icons, again, related to what you're using on the dice as well. So as you activate the different abilities of these heroes, these icons will also activate. But what's mostly important about that is that you can expand that. The cards in hand, you have two options for using them. So you can use them for their abilities, and then you discard them. And most of the cards will tell you when you can use them. Like here for Forceful Throw, throwing Mjolnir, you'll see that you can play at any time during your turn. So all the cards will have some specific info around it when you do activate and use the card ability. Or you can choose to permanently upgrade your hero by sliding this card into the right side of the board, adding more icons to the results of these special abilities. So, taking a closer look at Thor's abilities, starting with Mjolnir Strike, he needs 2 Starbursts and a Fist Punch, doing 3 damage. You'll see R2 here. This is range. Within 2 spaces, you can activate this ability and hit other champions on the board, obviously, doing 3 points of damage. Now, you could augment this ability and adding even more damage to it. So this is pretty nice. I used it quite a bit for sure. Next is Thor's token ability. You'll see that there's a unique symbol here. You'll be placing the Thunderstrike token on the board on a space. And if there's a hero that occupies that space or moves onto it, they'll take 2 damage. And then if they move off of it, they'll take an additional 1 damage. And then at the start of Thor's turn, his next turn, he'll take this token back. So that's an awesome ability. Now, again, you could augment this one as well with cards, give you more damage or allow you to draw cards or get glory tokens, whatever you might use in this particular spot under your board to make your abilities and powers better. And to activate Thunderstrike, you'll need the Starburst, a half glory, and a heart. Then we have this Mead Feast. And this one was really just about getting glory tokens as well as a card draw. So here you're looking for a card, a half card, as well as 2 burst symbols. Now, Thor's final ability, this is his big heavy hitter ability. Well, potentially. And all the heroes are going to work this way for icons needed. But this last ability is called Glorious Bash. And you're looking to roll any symbol, and then whatever you roll, you'll have to match along the track in order to activate it. And he's basically going to do damage with this ability for every glory token that he has on his health track and in his pool. So potentially you could do a pretty big strike. And then going back to Thor's cards, again, remember these cards can be played at various times. Very descriptive of when and how you play them. Unless you're going to use them to upgrade your hero. In that case, they will be locked for the rest of the game if you use it to upgrade. Otherwise, they can just go to your discard pile after using. So again, Forceful Throw, here you can play anytime during your turn. And then we've got Lightning Shield, which this is a card you're played when you take damage. So again, you do have some defensive maneuvers here. And then finally we have Ground Slam, which this one can be played after you finish rolling your dice. So again, all these different cards, vastly different abilities, and so it's a hard choice. Do I upgrade my hero, or do I keep this card and reuse it later in the round? So there's lots of choices to be made about how best to utilize these cards along with your dice rolls. And so the basics of a turn are very straightforward. You basically have 6 phases, I think. So you start off with a move. It's optional. You don't have to move if you don't want to. And then you can boost your hero. This is where you choose a card in hand and boost its power by sliding it under the right side of your player board and hopefully upgrading those abilities. And then you're going to be rolling your dice. And here you have, like you would expect, you have 3 rolls to achieve the dice symbols that you're after, either using them to activate special abilities or using them individually on their own. And then finally, you're going to check for those victory conditions. Did you win? Do you have 10 victory or 10 glory tokens, or are you the last one standing? And if not, then you're going to pass the dice to the next player and pick up any cards that may be acquired in this round. And again, don't forget cards in your hand using their abilities on your turn at various stages throughout. So those are the basics of play and some of the things you can expect. I really found the game to be super dynamic and fast playing. Even with 4 players, I really liked the team battle too. That was fantastic. And also, you know, again, playing different heroes each time really changes up what you're doing. I really liked Odin as well because he has these Raven tokens that augment your abilities by blocking off the requirements, so making it you have less requirements for those different abilities and activating them. So that was fantastic, and just the vast different types of play on these heroes make it super fresh and engaging. But again, you hope you've come out on top by being the last one standing, or you hope that you have acquired 10 glory tokens. All right, folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here is pretty close to done and finished. So you can go off to their website now and order or pre-order the game. And you know, they have done a really amazing job with just the look and feel of this game. It is simply beautiful. The miniatures, the artwork, all the card abilities, and what is available to you with each of the different heroes. And it's easy to engage with too. You can jump in this game really quick with very little teach. It's just all about that dice chucking, which is something I love in games. And you feel heroic in everything you're doing in this game as you battle back and forth. It is very fast playing, like I said. And you know, this is with all the expansions that are available, and I can't wait to see where they take this game in the future. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me. And until next time, we'll see you at the table.